We've made it. It's November 1st. It feels different because it's November. We're going to talk about October sales growth, Ford's management, accountability, and yeah, we have to say it. Who's cracking open Black Friday first? It's already happened. It's already happened.
My sister put up Christmas decorations last night. It's like their thing, and I'm just
November
every
1?
year. Every year
Halloween.
They finish Halloween. They do the stuff, and then they go to Christmas. And every year, I just I cut off communications for a month. I'm kidding. I don't do that.
That's right. I met your sister last week. Or this week. That sister?
Yes, that sister. She's crazy.
She looked a little crazy.
She's awesome, though. My sister's amazing.
Oh, man, so many good things going on. And it's November. It's the season. It's unusually warm in a lot of places in the country right now. Like we were in Lafayette, Indiana. It was 80 degrees.
It was unbelievable.
Last night, my wife and I, we actually didn't do Halloween last night. We went on a date. And
that's awesome.
And then we were walking around and it was 75 and breezy. What is going on around here?
Dude, it was 38 last October 31st.
Easy, 38 and sleet. You know what I mean? Or whatever that is. Oh, we just got a few things going on I want you to know about. We have a new webinar coming on the 6th. So next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. It's auditing your 2024 ad performance with our friends at Stream Companies. It's part 1 of a part 2, but this is the time of year where it makes sense to say, how have we been doing? Let's recalibrate, let's reset. And when we go into 2025, let's have a nice plan. So we're going to help get the gears going. You know, sometimes it just takes that thought or two, that insight or two to be like, oh, okay, that's the direction. So you can get started and you can keep going. So we're going to do that. Go to ASOTU.com and you can just sign up to be a part of that webinar or get the recording if you can't make it. But we love it when you join us while we're doing it. Doug on the live stream. Good morning. He says we were sweating in our costumes last night in Atlanta. Silly. It is kind of hot in Atlanta. Typically not that surprising, but you still plan, even if you're in Atlanta, you got to be planning for a 50-degree evening, right? Not always. An 80-degree evening.
Even in January, you just got to plan for that. So
I know. Yep. Well, we got our costume wearing out early this year.
You did.
So did you?
We all did. Oh, it was too much.
It was.
I think I wore costumes more than my family this year, which is not a normal thing.
I'm trying to think the last time I wore a costume, like an honest to goodness costume.
I don't know. Not like that.
I never dressed up like Woody. I'll tell you, I had people texting me a picture. Phil Gill from Tom Gill. He sent me a picture. He goes, good costume choice. And it's him and Woody. He wore it better. He wore it better than I did.
He definitely probably wore it better. Yeah.
What's up, Fred, our solutionary on the show this morning? What's up, Fred Leonards? Oh, man, you guys. I miss you guys. It's been too long since I've seen Fred and Lou.
I actually was texting Lou last night.
What?
Man, we need to do a podcast with Fred and Lou again. That's just always fun. Let's just make that happen.
We're good. Brian Ortega chimes in and says he wears costumes every month.
Yeah, I think he literally doesn't wear a costume on Halloween on purpose because he's like, I costume up. Yeah, he's like, this is actually my costume. This is a non-me. It's great.
It's how I look once a year.
So good.
All right, let's get into some news. October brought some robust growth in U.S. auto sales led by higher consumer interest in EVs and hybrids. As automakers were capitalizing on rising inventory and incentives, Hyundai and Kia specifically set records up 16% and 18% respectively, with notable gains in electric and hybrid models, which is a trend we're seeing industry-wide. U.S. light vehicle sales expected to climb 11% year over year from last October, with retail demand offsetting the declines in fleet sales. Some analysts are saying their industry's annualized sales rate projected to hover between 15.8 and 16.1 million, sustaining the strong September pace. I'm trying to remember what Jonathan Smoke's prediction was. It was right there.
Yeah. I think that 16 million SAR is kind of where everybody's been projecting, and so we're staying on that trend. Still a little bit lower than the highest out there. We still have some vehicles with low supply. And obviously we've been talking about affordability as an issue with just still sidelining buyers.
Right? Yeah, without a doubt. New inventories are up, obviously 25% though year over year, but still below pre-pandemic levels. Isn't that weird? Because now we're starting to have people get uncomfortable about inventory, but we're still below. So rising inventories pushing incentives higher. Incentives now averaging $3,149 per vehicle, which is a 71% year over year. Obviously, EVs seeing the highest incentives.
If I had to guess, and I'm, or if I had to be a betting man, I would bet that we're going to see that it's going to get shattered in December, especially brands that have a good amount of inventory on the lots, or like these EV brands that are seeing these 125-day vehicle supplies. Like, I'm watching December to just see a ridiculous amount of incentive.
Everybody just say, clear it out, move it out. Speaking of clearing things out.
Stop. Segue. Time.
By the way,
real talk.
By the way, if you didn't know this, fun historical ASOTU fact, that segue that you just heard, that little sound design, Mr. Brian Ortega.
Mr. Brian Ortega.
We got to give him some love because he's on the stream. He made that segue, and
Snaps
it never gets old. It's timeless. MC Hammer, little stop. Ford CEO Jim Farley is driving a new culture of accountability with his management by linking manager bonuses to some new key goals that have to do with quality and cost cutting. And he's reducing bonuses about 65% of the total for the potential year. Basically, their earnings met only the low end of expectations, causing shares to drop over 10% this week. In a recent town hall, he stressed the urgency of new performance-based bonus systems. Sounds like an auto industry thing.
Yep.
He says, we now truly differentiate the reward excellence at, we now truly differentiate and reward excellence at Ford, as he described this as shift as a massive culture change. The move aligns with their broader trends, and GM also updated its bonus structure this year, now offering top performers 150% of their total bonus. So it seems like, GM used the carrot and Jim Farley's using the stick.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously we all saw the Q3 results that weren't as lovely as expected, and the with shares dropping. You hate to kind of get the like, we know we got these bonuses, but you can't really get them way before the end of the year. Yeah. I don't know which is better. But the legacy automakers are still trying to figure out how to operate in this net new normal, and balance their EV production issues with their, gas powered production, and how to get profitability and expenses right and all those things. But
what a difficult job.
It's tough. I can't imagine being in that.
He position. Said, here's a quote from his earnings presentation. I just went back and found it because I saw it earlier. He said, "I'm proud of the progress, but we're not satisfied at all."
As they shouldn't be. Lots more to do.
I know. Speaking of lots more to do.
Stop. Segue.
Time. Come on, let's get going.
All right. So Target is launching its Black Friday deals earlier than ever, offering shoppers a jump start on savings with multiple ways to snag the best prices this season. The 3-day early Black Friday sale runs from November 7th to November 9th, giving shoppers early access to top discounts. Really, all this, Paul, I'm just going to, before I get to the end of the show, it's the 7th through the 9th. All this is like emotional buying response, right? It's like, okay, you got done with the whole, the voting. Now you get your emotional buying.
Dude,
it's like right
retail
in
therapy.
It's the day after
the election.
Therapy. They're just
the election's on the 5th. So they give you a day to recover, but it's like something to look forward to, right?
Therapy. Their holiday price match guarantee is ensuring that shoppers will get the best deals with price matching on items that drop in price through December 24th. So you buy now, price drops later, you're good to go. Daily deals start November 1st, and each week's discounts include up to 50% off items like floor care and toys, exclusively for the old Target Circle member.
Yeah, smart.
Rick Gomez, EVP at Target, said, "We're kicking off the holidays in a way only Target can." Until we run the story about Walmart tomorrow.
I think people like
anecdotes for this one.
Actually, all I think about is, first of all, a post-election sale is one of the best things I've ever heard.
So good.
Like, give people something else to think about, please. Yeah. Right? Like, look, you did an awesome job. You got through an election. It's like the election season's over celebration sale. Right. And we'll just have a great time with it, and people will get smiley and happy.
I feel like an auto dealer would get all over that.
Oh, I know it. I think that's I really do. I think like it should be like free drinks at Starbucks, right? Like the whole thing.
Absolutely.
The whole thing should happen.
Lean into it. Just lean into
this sale has me thinking about people like your sister who already decorated for Christmas, right? They're in the Christmas spirit. There are those early movers who are like planned out, and they have their shopping list and they know who they have to buy for. Like, that is a it's probably 15-20% of the population. And so this is incentivizing them to feel like they're ahead, get the early deals. But you know what it is like in this day and age. Like, is anything really the best deal at this point in the year?
Who really knows? I think that what we're learning is like capitalizing on the thing that you can control and the deal that you can offer, and maybe like integrating a few pieces of the retail environment are smart, right? Yeah. Like sometimes you know, especially as a marketer, you kind of get tired of the rigmarole of like, oh, it's that season again, we got to talk about it. But it doesn't mean that culture isn't excited about buying based on those types of signals in retail. So
that's right.
You just got to lean in, you know.
Well, last comment from the live stream. Everybody's chippy in the comments today. Doug Class says we need real therapy after this election. Not retail therapy, real therapy. Well, tune in tomorrow when Kyle and I are going to go in depth on who we are voting for and why. I'm just kidding. We're never going to do that on this show. We'll see you tomorrow.